And we are live. Welcome everybody to Main Pod episode 7. I don't know why I said that so aggressively. Force Awakens. That's an episode 7 that I liked.
Why would you mention that?
I liked
Why
that
would you say that?
movie. Everyone likes that movie,
How?
right guys?
But how does that correlate?
I don't know. Episode 7. It doesn't correlate to anything we're going to be talking about today. We have no Star Wars topics because that franchise Loki is dead.
Because Star Wars isn't doing anything.
That franchise Loki dead.
Thank you, Dave
They're
Filoni.
they're dropping a Lego short, Mandalorian Lego short in like September. It's
We're
moving
good
me.
on that. We're good on that.
I'm reviewing it because it's like that's fun. The Lego
You
stuff is
were
always
not.
really fun.
You were not reviewing that.
Oh, I sure am. There's something else that's Star Wars related. I gotta
Is it
cultivate
canon?
that. No, Vision stuff isn't canon. I'm still gonna
So
cover it.
it's basically like the crypto short.
Well, no, it's like it's got a little bit more authenticity to it because it's like, yeah, it's like a Lego
Hi,
project.
Grim,
Grim's here.
our favorite channel member.
Genuinely, Grim is going. He is going to become a channel member when we have memberships up. He's going to pay us $5 a month. Especially if we tell him he doesn't have to read comics.
Sure.
I don't know. Let's warm up with your thoughts on the It's Always Sunny AI poster.
Why?
Because
This has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
I'm curious. It's got traction. I wanted to know what your thoughts were.
Okay. So I'm a big Always Sunny fan.
Mhm.
I'm in season 4. Out of like
huge fan. One of the biggest
well,
fans ever.
I've seen later episodes, but like
Yeah.
dispersed, not like consecutively, which is what I'm doing right now with Always Sunny. And obviously this poster looks like it's AI, but
It's yeah.
the last few posters also do. And we know for a fact that they were done by an artist. So I am holding out a little bit of hope that this was also done by an artist.
It looks really like AI though. Like it's like
all the fingers are there. All the fingers are there. If you pay attention.
That doesn't matter anymore. All right.
I guess.
What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about first?
I guess we talk about the big Batman news.
The big Batman news.
Yeah.
So it got delayed again, guys. I didn't even expect that to happen, and it happened anyway.
I don't think anyone expected that to happen, which is why it was such a big deal, because they were already in production and it looked like it was on track.
And then J.J. Abrams said, "Wait, hold on, I have a movie that needs to come out first."
Deadline also said it was because of post-production stuff, which I mean, the first movie had such a long time in post-production, but I thought that was because of COVID for the most part.
Well, wasn't there a Deadline or Variety report, one of the two, that said that there was a lot of post-production on this movie that needed to be done? Like there was like a CGI
for blend
for this one. Wasn't there like a lot of CGI that was going to be in this movie, and so they had to
Poison Ivy.
Like low-key, yeah, but like that back in the day, we thought it was Clayface because there was reports that Clayface was in the movie, and
wait! I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. I think that Clayface is in Batman Part 2 unless they really are just not.
I don't think Clayface separate. Is in Batman Part 2.
Yeah. Hunter asked, or didn't ask, just said a statement. Batman Brave and the Bold movie might come out in 2029. Low key. Now this has been delayed further.
I think it will be 2029.
I was gonna say it could be 2030. Now that this has been delayed even further.
I think it's be 2029.
Yeah.
And I mean, a Batman movie in 2 straight years. Looky fire, I guess.
Also, Dynamic Duo is what 4 months after
3 Batman movies in the span of 2 years.
So they're making up for lost time there. Truthfully, I don't know. I don't think a single soul likes this news.
I guess people are just like, good art needs to take time, which is true.
Yeah. For sure.
Right. But it felt like they had that time, but I guess they didn't, and they felt like they needed to delay it. I don't know. It's kind of shocking. I mean, I don't think I don't think we heard any traction on a possible delay.
No,
Um, we got our first look at the movie though, with the
it
camera
was
test,
exceptional. That was pretty cool.
and it's snowing. So I
It's
guess it makes
snowing.
sense since it's in winter now. Besides, it was in fall, now it's winter, and there's a obviously a winter setting, which I guess can help it. Um, yeah, it looked good. The camera test.
I liked it. I mean, the cinematography. I don't think the same guy isn't doing it again, right? Isn't he? Isn't he on Dune Part Three? So they're doing.
Greg Fraser is
Yeah,
not the cinematographer
it's a new guy,
for
right? I
Dune.
don't know who it is,
I
but
mean, for the Batman Part Two. It's Eric. I can't say his last name. I can't pronounce it. It's like Eric. It's the same guy who did The Killer.
oh, okay.
Eric Messer. Eric Messerschmidt.
Oh, yeah. I'm not familiar with that work at all. I'm not gonna lie. Mr. Nostalgia asked, "Do you think that Part Two of the Batman will be the end of the franchise?" No.
Maybe.
I say that because
Who
we
knows?
already know there's a Poison Ivy show in development in the Reeseverse, and it's probably going to be after the Batman Part 2, if I had to guess. So that in and of itself means that there's something after. I would just then argue that Batman Part 3 is right after that. That would make sense with me. I don't know.
Yeah. If there is a Batman Part Three, I think it definitely can't take as long as the Batman Part Two took to make, because this is a now 6 year gap, like on the dot 6 years.
Right.
Um, and if you apply that to the Batman Part Three, we would be getting it in uh, 2034, and Robert Pattinson would be like he would be almost 50.
Oh my God, he's that old?
He would yeah, he's in his lower 40s right now.
So, yeah, so by the time that
I
part
think he's
oh
41.
wow. So he'd be about 43 when Batman Part 2
Or
comes out.
he's 40.
And yeah, you're right. If another one were to take out, he would be in his 50s if it took that long. Wow.
Yeah.
Man of Tomorrow is DC's only theatrical movie in 2027. That is true. I don't think they're going to move anything in. There was talks. I saw rumors, at least, or just theories that Bane and Deathstroke was going to get moved into 2027. I do not think that that's going to be the case at all.
We're getting
That
a lot of
movie's
animated shows
That's
probably in
true.
2027.
We're going to get
I
two,
don't
probably the Jimmy Olsen show.
did we have Mr. Miracle in 2027 or 2028 in our
In
slate
our slate
prediction?
prediction, we put down Mr. Miracle, I think, as the last project in 2027.
I think Mr.
Which,
Miracle and Creature Commandos are definitely sticking in 2027.
yeah, I would
And
say the Olsen
then
show too. I think that that's
and Jimmy
probably a
Olsen,
lock
and
too.
then Man of Tomorrow, and that seems like about it for DC, except
Yeah,
for a lot of I guess Elseworld and animated shows or movies.
right. Main DC content wise, we'd probably only get those four in 2027.
Right.
Do you think James Gunn will introduce DCU Batman and Man of Tomorrow? No. I actually would be shocked if Batman is in that movie in any capacity. But I do not think that he's being introduced in Man of Tomorrow. I do think it's possible he could have some sort of introduction in Clayface, but I also don't really fully believe that. I think they're probably saving him for the Bane and Deathstroke movie at this point, especially with Brave and the Bold potentially being delayed even further because of the Batman Part 2 delay.
Who knows? I think if it comes, hopefully, if it comes before Brave and the Bold, hopefully it'll be a secret and a surprise, other than
Yeah,
just hearing it out of, I guess, kind of how we heard about Blue Beetle and Man of Tomorrow, which we'll talk about in a minute.
yep,
I don't think I want that happening with Batman, but it's kind of inevitable because I mean, if Batman's on set, you're gonna have crew talking. Um,
yeah.
it's Batman.
I think actually
It's
the fact that it hasn't leaked yet kind of proves he's not on set and that they're not doing
oh, he's definitely
Batman
not
the
a
movie.
main character in this movie at all. If I mean, if he's in the if he's in Man of Tomorrow, it'll be like a small cameo like Supergirl was
It would
in
be like a
Superman.
that I could see being a post credit stinger, to be honest. I know Gunn said he wouldn't do that, but that would be the ideal time to do something like that.
Well, if he
Um,
made it comedic, I guess it would make sense.
yeah, they could do the
They
the
could do
thing
the
that Heishi
diner.
always does, where they're in the diner. Yeah,
They could do the
that would be
IC
fun.
diner in the as a post credit.
Yeah, that would be cool. Um, yeah, so like, yeah, I think everyone is saying in the chat like they think DCU Batman might be in Man of Tomorrow because of this news, but I would argue it makes it more likely he'd actually be in Banestroke, and that is going to be the first iteration of Batman we're going to see in the DCU, and that he would show up in that movie as like a maybe not an antagonist, but maybe like a secondary like role, and that would be his
Yeah,
first appearance. That's
I
my thoughts on that at
I
least.
don't know though, because to me, it sounds like that movie might not be centered around just those two characters. Meaning it might not be anything to do with Batman at all. It might
Have
not
you
be
have
in
you heard about anything in particular with that movie?
nothing I could share.
Okay. All right. I had to catch you. I had to see if I could get something out of you. That's all right though. Yeah, I mean,
But
I also would be shocked if it's literally Bane and Deathstroke the movie. I assume that there's some other aspect to it that has not been revealed yet. Um,
yeah, I think it's still Seeker Six.
okay. I mean
That's
that.
that's my that's my prediction. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think Seeker Six could have some traction to it with a audience, just like how Suicide Squad took off with marketing.
Right.
Of course, you need big actors and you need um, a very distinct aesthetic to it,
What?
and a good movie.
Oh yeah. Well, Suicide Squad it made money, but that's only because of the marketing. And the second that ended, the movie like plummeted, because it
Right.
wasn't good. Uh, Mr. Nostalgia says, I wonder if this would lead to a year where there's three movies. I think DC needs to have at least three movies a year. I think that Marvel's rate of putting out movies was pretty solid at three per year. I think that they started to lose their way a little when they did four. I think
Is
that
this like the 2028 movies?
I think Mr. Nostalgia is referring to possibly 2028. Yes, possibly.
Because
But I think you'd have to.
that's a big question for me because you only have one DC movie
27.
in 2027. There's obviously going to be another in 2028,
Right.
probably Bane Stroke. Um, but do
Wonder
you
Woman could be
add another?
2029. I could see that.
Could it be 2028 and then you have four movies?
Four in 2028, and one of them's Dynamic Duo, and one's back. Oh, and then two DCU. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but that could totally happen.
I think it's
Hmm.
hard. It's hard to not do that because um,
You need the story to progress
we are
too.
pretty delayed when it comes to the Trinity,
Yeah.
um, and we're getting a Superman two. Well, not Superman two, but a
Yeah.
sequel, a
Sequel
movie
to
with
Superman.
Superman as the main character. And
Yeah.
we still have not heard anything about the Wonder Woman and Batman movie besides the writers.
Right.
Um, so I think Wonder Woman 2028, maybe December 2028 or something like that could work. Um, because otherwise you're putting off Wonder Woman and Brave and the Bold to at least 2029, which I guess you could do Wonder Woman and the Brave and the Bold
You
in
could do a Wonder
2028.
Bat. You could do a Wonder Bat like double feature, I guess that year.
And
That would make sense.
if
But
James Gunn is making a Superman 3, if we follow the formula, he goes pretty fast on these films, and it's pretty much 2 years after. Because Man of Tomorrow, which is this big film, is 2 years after Superman. If he does Superman 3 in another 2 years, then that will
You'd
be the
have
whole that will be the whole Trinity in
in 1
2029.
year.
Um,
Okay.
but
Which
then
could lead
again, maybe
to.
James Gunn takes a little bit of a break. Maybe he takes
I
a
was about
year
to say that's a
off.
lot. That's a lot of
I think
directing for
I
him
think he
too.
should. I think he should take a year after Man of Tomorrow and
And maybe
focus
have
on
Superman 3
on
and
on
30
getting the
2030.
Trinity perfect. Um, you have Wonder Woman, Brave and the Bold, 2029, and then Superman 3 in 2030.
Yeah, so okay, we have a few comments here I want to quickly touch on. What was the point of White Rabbit being a man tomorrow? That's from Grimm. I genuinely believe that that's just another cameo role that they wanted to throw
By
in.
who?
White Rabbit being a man tomorrow?
My rabbit. I actually heard this 2 months ago, and I
Yeah,
shrugged it off. I
I
shrugged it
mean,
off because I thought it was BS. I thought it was bullshit. I was like, "There's no way." But then I thought because a lot of the production materials for Man of Tomorrow and Jimmy Olsen are kind of merged in a way
yeah.
because they're filming at the same spot,
Oh,
same location.
do you think she's in the Jimmy Olsen show?
She could be in the Jimmy Olsen show, um,
Oh, that would make
rather
sense.
than rather than Man of Tomorrow, and
Right.
there
And
could
there would
be
be
some
no way of
confusion
knowing,
there.
really. Yeah, you wouldn't
There
really
would be
know either
no there
way.
would be no way knowing until it happens. That being said, I could see her being in Man of Tomorrow as I guess a salvation, an extra in Salvation maybe that Arcus is coming after.
Yeah, that
Um,
could work.
and
Um,
I would assume there would be more than just White Rabbit there,
yeah, yeah,
if
it would be
that's
like
the
a
case.
caveat of multiple heroes. Let's see, what else do we have here? How do you guys choose what you can share and what can't share? Honestly, uh, Cole, do you want to take that one? Do you even want to answer that one, or
It's just verification.
yeah, I think it's
Making
mostly
sure it's 100% rather than 50-50 like other scoopers do.
also making
I
sh
don't like being a scooper either. I just don't like revealing information. So I that's why I only do it very dispersed, very so often.
Yeah, and of course we cover news from other scoopers too. Whether or not it's unverified, we tend to lean more towards making sure the information is verified before we cover it on the podcast. Sometimes the news is too big and we have to just get it out. Sometimes live, I will find a rumor and just talk about it, like I did with the Patrick Wilson as Professor X stuff a few days ago. But like for the most part, no matter what, even if we're talking about unverified rumors, we will give our thoughts on it
I
and then also be
I
like,
do have a scoop though, and
yes,
I'll
you
get to that
do.
when we discuss the topic.
Okay, great. Uh, there's a few more
We
questions.
should go over Man of Tomorrow first or
Yes,
Blue Beetle,
there's a few
and
more
then
questions I want to quickly address. Really quick stuff. Uh, what's the rumored release? Wasn't the rumored release for Sergeant Rocker on Memorial Day? That's true. But they removed the date. Obviously, that never ended up happening. And then what about the project that is Supergirl that is next up? I personally believe that that's a Wonder Woman movie that Supergirl's in. But I don't know if Cole, if you have any info on something like that, or if you have a theory that's different than that. That was my thoughts
say that
on.
again.
Matt Ramos asked, "What about the project that has Supergirl that is next up? What that might end up being?
Oh, what Lars Winter said on the Supergirl press
Mm.
is that
The movie after Man of Tomorrow was going to have Supergirl have a role in it. That was, I believe, the phraseology of that
I don't
statement.
think it's Banestroke.
No, I think it's Wonder Woman. Gunn released on Instagram a picture of Wonder Woman and Supergirl.
It's
Uh,
probably Wonder Woman,
yeah,
especially since Anna Naguara is writing that movie as well. Um, I don't see her being a large role. I don't see this being a duo. But I guess she could have a role in training with her in some capacity. Maybe it depends where they take Diana, but I mean, both of these characters are kind of lost. Depending on where Diana is in her life, maybe she hasn't left Themyscira yet. Uh, maybe they're both kind of lost on this on Earth and they don't know what to do, because we saw that featured in Supergirl, and I think that could be something that's featured um, in Wonder Woman.
That's that to me makes the most sense for that project. I That's a theory. It's not a scoop. We don't have any extra information other than simply what Gunn has said, what we personally believe, and stuff like that. But I do think that that makes sense. And then yeah, we're excited for the Marvel Hall H panel. We're going to be live streaming it along with the Lanterns panel the day before. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's get into the main topic, or the second main topic of today, which is Blue Beetle
Yep.
in Man of Tomorrow. I am not really shocked, but I am maybe a little surprised that it is this movie. But I did expect Blue Beetle to show up sooner rather than later. It's interesting it'll come before his animated show, almost certainly. Also, there was a part in the article that is implied it's possible that the Blue Beetle
Right.
show is canceled. And I want to hear your thoughts on that. Have you heard anything in the rumor mill about Blue Beetle's show? What are your crackpot theories on Blue Beetle being in Man of Tomorrow?
I,
Lay it all on me.
I haven't heard anything about the Blue Beetle animated show. It's probably on a back burner, just like a
Okay.
lot of other projects. They just need to focus on other stuff.
Yep.
Um, and I guess what Deadline said is true, that HBO and HBO Max are focusing on more adult content, and this would be like a kids animated show.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Like a TVPG sort of deal, or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
In terms of him being in Man of Tomorrow, I'm really excited for it. I think it makes a little bit of sense because we had all this momentum towards Blue Beetle coming around Peacemaker, and James Gunn teasing himself that Blue Beetle would be coming around the release of Peacemaker, which I I don't know why he did that, but I guess now seeing the news now, it's obvious that he was writing him into this Man of Tomorrow, because by the time he was doing that and Peacemaker coming out, he was in the late stage of writing Man of Tomorrow, so he was probably fresh on the mind of Blue Beetle and incorporating Jaime Reyes into Man of Tomorrow. So I think in that perspective it makes sense. In terms of the story, I have no idea where this could go. Um, Perhaps um, they find his technology that he possesses with the Scarab very helpful in a fight with Brainiac. Um, he can also probably because I assume they're going to go in Brainiac's ship at some point in this film, and
For sure. Yes.
I would assume Brain or Blue Beetle would be a part of that mission. Maybe it's either that. I don't know how else he would tie in the story other than as a fighting force against Brainiac. And
I
the
think
same goes with John Stewart, because we know he's in the film.
yes. Yeah.
So
I do think there's a few things I want to quickly say, and it's actually gonna relate to Grimm's comment on if the movie's canon to the DCU. I think the movie's completely canon. Other than maybe the reference to Batman being a fascist is the only thing I could think of maybe not being
which
canon.
which film? Oh,
Blue
Blue
Beetle.
Beetle. Blue Beetle.
And what I think is going to happen is Ted Kord is stuck in Salvation. And I think that Booster
Could
Gold's
be.
show is going to be showing how Ted Kord gets stuck in Salvation and Booster trying to get him out. And I think that Blue Beetle's in this movie because he's trying to get Ted out. I think it's possible, not likely, but possible that Booster Gold's also in this and is being hidden right now. I think it's even more possible that Creature Commando Season 2 takes place on Salvation, that Captain Atom, which has been rumored to be, or I don't even know if it's rumored, APOC, I think, straight up said Captain Atom's in Creature Commando Season 2. That
Yep.
Captain Atom is also on Salvation, and all of those characters are Charlton comic characters, and
That's
that
true.
it's sort of potentially a way to like meta that where it's like okay all these guys showed up at the same time and they have comics obviously together and we're going to put them all in Salvation. And Peacemaker, of course, is also a Charlton character. If viewers did not know,
That's
so
true.
that makes sense to me as to what could be going on. And that way, this is also sort of a direct sequel in a lot of ways, or indirect sequel, I guess would be the best way to say it, to Blue Beetle in that sense too. And that way, his animated show can leave off the pressures of needing to relate to that movie and can simply just be a standalone story on whatever the hell they want to do. That is my personal theory on what is going on there. There's have been rumors, Reloaded fan asks, there's been rumors that Bloodsport or Dr. Fate could be in Man of Tomorrow. I mean, we've
I
discussed
don't believe it.
personally, yeah, we discussed personally the idea of Dr. Fate potentially being in it. Not off of anything we know, but simply off of the idea that would be really sick and cool. Um, but there's nothing concrete there. And Bloodsport, I do not buy for a second. I don't think that he makes sense in this movie at all, or that Idris Elba is
That
even coming
started
back.
to spread because of a Medium article, which is like a blog, and you can basically just put whatever you want on there.
Yeah,
Um, don't take it seriously. The account that posted it had like 4 followers or something like that. Um, I don't take it seriously. I don't think he's going to be in this. I don't know how he would have a role in this. Certainly, I don't think how I don't know how he could help fight Brainiac, like John Stewart
he
and
could he could shoot at him.
yeah. Let's
I mean, to be fair, why is White Rabbit potentially in this? There is that idea of like, why is that
well,
character in this, or
she's a metahuman.
okay,
She's a metahuman. Bloodsport isn't.
that's true.
Um,
Um, yeah, okay. You know what I think Bloodsport
so
could
yeah,
be in though? Stroke
check. Oh, yeah.
or
I was gonna
Checkmate,
say checkmate, but yeah.
either or. Uh, I think either one of those. If you want to see Bloodsport again, it might not be Idris Elba who plays him, just because he's pretty busy, but it could be. But either way, if you want to see Bloodsport again, that's where I would
I
expect
don't think
Bloodsport to
you
make his
recast
career.
Bloodsport though.
You just pay Elba the big
Like
bucks.
just just like Will Smith in Suicide Squad. The reason why a lot of people like that character is because of the actor who plays him.
Okay.
Um, and if you recast Bloodsport with a lesser known actor, then I don't think people are really gonna attach themselves to that. Um, so yeah, I don't know.
You lagged out a little bit on my end there,
Oh,
but I think your camera quality went down and then it went back up. So I think you're good now. I heard
cool.
everything, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
That was just strange.
I also think that Matthew Lillard will be Ted Cord.
um, Grim asked if there's any
I'm reading
Gotham
chat right
villain.
now.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grim asked, could there be any Gotham villains in Clayface other than Clayface himself? He could fight against someone else, probably some irrelevant like D-lister, if I had to guess. But I haven't heard anything about
I don't
Clayface
think so.
fighting other characters. Yeah.
I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty standalone. Uh,
And then the only other news story that we have to talk about is we have the scoop, but also X-Men castings have just been going around.
we talked
There's
about
been
Magneto.
rumors. Yep, we talked about Magneto. Obviously, Professor X is in this movie. APOC listed off a whole bunch of characters that could be in it. Left off
Yes, I did see that.
left off Beast, but said that Beast could still be getting cast anyway. I think left off Gambit, which is maybe also kind of a snub. Um,
I don't
Emma
think
Frost
Gambit
is
needs to be in this.
no,
They just
I don't know.
because they have Channing Tatum as Gambit in Doomsday.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Rogue was in the cast though, which is very obviously she's very related to Gambit, in that they are lovers. And Emma Frost was maybe an interesting character to put in there. It makes me think they are doing Brotherhood of Evil Mutants for the first movie, meaning that I do think that it's possible Magneto is just the villain, and that there is no Mister
Right.
Sinister in this. Um,
How did that first go around? By the way.
that was just I think we knew that Adam Driver had been cast. I think people asked APOC, and APOC just said, "This is who I know." I can pull up the tweet actually and take a quick peek and make sure I didn't miss any
So
major.
people are just theorizing he's playing Mister Sinister or not. Magneto.
Oh yeah, no, I do think okay, here's the full list. It's everyone I've said plus a couple like obvious names. Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops was the only other people I didn't mention. Those are like Storm is like one of the most important X-Men. There's kind of no way that she wouldn't be in this. Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men
Oh,
typically. No Wolverine.
Matt Reeves tweeted.
Oh, he did. Did he tweet anything stream relevant?
Let me see, because I got the notification.
I am interested. I don't have him on notifications, so I can't lie. My
Someone
time to
said
shine tweeted too.
someone said the custom Ultra Panatar 2 Panavision anamorphic lenses they had made for this look beautiful, and lighting Rob so you can just make out his eyes without revealing too many details of the cowl is perfect. I knew we were in good hands with Eric Messerschmidt, and Matt Reeves quote tweeted, "Indeed, we are." Dot dot dot.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think the cinematography looks great. Emma
Yeah.
Frost got posted by My Time to Shine. Does she have a name? I
What?
I mean, we don't look. Truthfully, My Time to Shine is not a very reliable source. I'm willing to talk about it and give
When did my
thoughts.
time? Let me look.
Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is reportedly one of the
Oh,
actresses being considered to play Emma Frost in the MCU X-Men reboot. Um, what are your thoughts? I'm interested.
hold on.
uh, if it's true, Margot Robbie is a good actress. I just saw her in A Big Bold Beautiful Journey, and she was really good in that. And obviously,
She's a
many
great
of our viewers
actress.
have probably seen Barbie. Barbie is a good movie too. She's great in that. But I don't think she's Emma Frost. I don't think she's Emma Frost at all. But that might be another Adam Driver esque pull where it's like I don't see him fully as Magneto, but you cast him because he's famous, and then you kind of do the rest of the work later. It's not a great casting
This
strategy, but
this is what I'll say. I've seen a few times where my time to shine is just, you know, that she is there somewhat, but not fully accurate.
okay.
Um, like I would not take when I would say, if my time to shine is saying it, there's a possibility that there was a discussion there. But I don't think it's confirmation of anything, because we saw that with Fantastic Four.
But we also know that like a lot of those names were in discussion. My Time to Shine gets that right at
Right.
least, and then I think after that, she sort of just refutes the same things in the hopes that it also catches
There's
the
also
same sort
just
of traction.
way too many times that people are like throwing these big actors, big actresses, people coming off roles like Indy Navarrete.
Yeah,
Um, we see this a lot with Marvel specifically, because Kevin Feige doesn't go, why the fuck are you saying this? This is just not true at all. Like James Gunn does. So there's a lot more leniency when you're a scooper when it comes to Marvel versus DC, because James Gunn, even if you're a pretty non-notable scooper at all and you have 4 followers, James Gunn has been known to like say to debunk something.
right. I will
Um,
say just off of the Rock as Apocalypse thing that she tweeted out a while ago, and Bryce Gotcha in the comments was talking about it. I straight up have not heard anything about Apocalypse even being in the movie, so I would fully not take that word at all. Like I don't even think they're casting Apocalypse. Um, I think the villain of this movie is Magneto. I could be wrong. I could be totally off, but I think that that's what it looks to be right now. Do you want to drop the scoop that you have now? Just because I feel like it's been about half an
uh,
hour.
yeah,
Okay. So,
and we could talk about this topic after too.
I would love you might want to wrap it up a little bit so we can get a few more people in here, and then we'll drop it.
Say it right
I will
now, or
Oh, I was
you're
gonna say
saying
like go to DC Leaks and like let them know that you're dropping it now, and like
I'm not gonna tease him like that. It's not that
no.
big.
It's not that okay.
I'm not heard of
So
season.
we should preface by saying in the Discord, the Home of DCU Discord, someone asked what the scoop was, and then I said the words, "It's moderately exciting," because it is moderately exciting. It is not a huge leak. It's not a huge scoop.
It's not a
Um,
big deal.
it
Well,
is, however, no, it's a
it's a
big
little
deal.
bit of a deal.
It's
Yeah.
a big deal. It's a big deal because it confirms to me a few things. Okay, I'm gonna let you say it so that way, and then we'll discuss why it's a big deal after.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
So I hear that the Lantern season 2 writers room is now complete, meaning they have the writers ready, they have a room, uh, and they're writing. Writing has begun for season 2 of Lanterns, and then as previously reported, Christopher Cantwell is joining on as the executive producer with Chris Mundy because Damon Lindelof and Tom King are kind of, as we heard, they're kind of taking a little step back. They're not off the project; they're still attached, but they are they're taking a little bit of a step back.
So the reason why, personally, I believe that this is still pretty awesome news to hear is that one, it shows that HBO's got plenty of faith in lanterns. It shows that DC Studios got plenty of faith in lanterns. Two, uh, getting writing done this early probably implies a potential 2028 release for Lantern Season 2, which would only be about 2 years prior to the last season. So we wouldn't have to wait an eternity for the next season. I'd love for them to do what Marvel's doing and do it a year at a time, but I expect for HBO it's just going to take longer, and there's not really much we can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also because they're writing now, they're also able to look at Jon Stewart's performance in Man of Tomorrow as they're writing, and I think that that in turn kind of bodes well for the future of the Lantern Corps. That like they're seeing right now what Aaron Pierre is able to do in that huge ensemble. And so for me, I imagine that Lantern Season 2 might just get a little bit further into the core, the Green Lantern core, where this first season is clearly focused on Hal and John.
Probably
Um so
season
that's
one.
that's
Season one to me seems like kind of an origin for John in a way,
yeah.
um, and kind of a character breakdown. And
So yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, chat asked if Damon and Tom are taking a step back because they're showrunning other shows. I do. Tom King's showrunning Mr. Miracle. We know
Yes,
that.
and Damon
That's
Lindelof is working on another project too. I can't remember the name, but he is. They're both. I think he's show running a new show. Actually, he got
I
picked
do
up as
not
a
believe
showrunner.
Lindelof. That to be fair, I do not believe that that is DC related. That is just Lindelof
That is
working
not
on a
DC
different
related.
project. Tom
Yes,
King is working on
Mr. Miracle.
Mr. Miracle, and he will probably if he's showrunning something else after, which is why Lantern Season 2 he's not a huge part of. It's probably also DC related. I just do not know.
Well, they want to
Um,
get these scripts done as soon as possible, right? Because this season one is about to premiere, and it seems like they're pretty confident. I've heard that I've heard that they're pretty confident and that there's been some good reactions behind the scenes.
yes, I have
Um,
heard similar. I mean, there's also just people. There's influencers that have said as such. You know, I'm not even getting that information from like a private source. I'm just getting that from the internet. Like, there's plenty of people that have been saying that Lanterns has been received
Deadline
pretty
actually
positively.
Deadline actually reported that like one of the um, I guess they have these kind of investors that they showed the show too early,
Yeah,
um, because they invest so much in the company. Um, and I think Deadline reported that one of those people that they spoke to was really happy with what they saw, or something like that. I think HBO is pretty confident. That's why they've opened up the writers' room. And to be fair, this does not mean it's greenlit. Season two is not greenlit yet.
yes, that
Um,
would be a decision made by HBO. What this does mean
yes,
though is that DC clearly has a plan for the Lanterns that extends to a season 2 of the show. And so personally, don't really see a reason why HBO wouldn't just greenlight it anyway. and I think it's a very good sign. However, in the case that HBO doesn't pick up the show again, it's possible, however unlikely, that they could ship it to somewhere else and maybe make it there instead, like Netflix, for example.
That's a
Don't
little hard
expect
to
that
do
to happen, but
with season 2 though.
for sure, I do not expect that to happen. I'm just saying that
Like,
clearly there is a story for it, and I think Gunn would rather see it continue somewhere else than just get rid of it
mhm.
completely.
For
That's just my
example,
personal opinion.
Jimmy Olsen's show is not picked up by HBO or HBO Max, same company. Um, if they decide they don't want it, then they could ship it to Netflix or something like that. Um, with Lanterns, it's hard to do because they already have the season 1 on HBO. So if it's going to continue, it's likely to continue on HBO, which I think it will. And I think James Gunn will make the case if it's important to the universe. Obviously, that's not a guarantee because HBO needs to make money back, right? It's their platform. Um, but James Gunn could make a guarantee of something big happening or something in case Lanterns underperforms. Um,
I'm not really
and
expecting it to, by the way.
I'm not
I
expecting it to either.
I mean, I think we
Um,
all kind of knew Supergirl was going to underperform. There was obviously
not
rumblings of that.
not as bad as it did, but yeah.
No, not as bad as it did, but that was always, I think, part of the discussion around Supergirl's box office, like very early on, was that this movie is not going to perform great. Lanterns, obviously, is a show; it's a lot different, but there has never been a doubt in my mind that the show's going to do well. I think fan reactions is important. I also think that critic reactions are important, and I think that that's going to matter for the continuation of the show. And you know, if people tune into episode 2 or episode 3, I do think that the show is clearly, I think it's hiding details from us just from off the trailers. I think it's very obvious. It's a mystery. Those sorts of things get people hooked and they want to watch every episode. So I think that Lanterns also has
Yep.
a really good like storytelling path that they can take to get people intrigued for every episode as it continues.
And it's HBO.
Yeah.
Um, it's premiering right after House of the Dragon season 3. Um, the Penguin did well, from what I know. And that was HBO, right?
It was.
Um,
Yes. That was HBO.
I think this concept um, really attracts HBO consumers as a whole in terms of like grounded lanterns in the West. It's something that pulls from all demographics because you have your superhero audience in your teens and early adults, and then it's possible that a lot of older audiences could find the show appealing as well. So I don't expect this to underperform, and I expect season 2 to get greenlit. Whether that's after episode 1 releases and they see how well it performed there, or by the end of the show,
I'll
by the
also
end of
say
the season's performance.
I'll also say that Matt Ramos, you're right. It does have the primetime HBO Sunday slot, which is
Yep.
that is really good. Yeah. I mean, I think Penguin did too, right? It was Sundays at 9, if I remember correctly. So both shows getting. I mean, Penguin did great. The reason why Penguin probably won't get a season 2 is because there's just not a story to tell, and that's okay. I think with Lanterns, the fact that there is clearly a story to tell, as we're reporting here, but also, we've known that there was, a season 2 in some sort of development for a while. Now that it's being actually written, the very next step after that would simply be cast whatever you need to, and then go into pre-production and just start filming it.
Yep.
I I definitely think that in terms of, first of all, when we'd get Lantern season 2, we could very well get it before the summer of 2028. It could be a April
Sure.
release or something, but
I
just
think
just that way it's not literally
2028
too.
is 2028 is a good guess.
Yeah, just because I feel like they're gonna want it to be optically not exactly 2 years after. I think they're gonna want to be like a year and change, so that way it looks a little bit better on them. Simply because Marvel is doing yearly releases of Daredevil, and it's the budgets are probably fairly alike if I had to guess, just based off of Marvel and Disney money. But like obviously there is probably a different level of quality for an HBO show. I'm expecting Lanterns to be a better show than Daredevil.
Mhm.
I think Daredevil has vastly outperformed normal Disney Plus expectations, and I think that that is good. But also, HBO has a very level like they got that prestige quality to them, and you sort of expect that HBO primetime show to be something special. So
I'm
Lanterns has
I'm
pressure in that sense, but
I'm also hoping that Booster Gold gets a writer's room open soon because they just finished the pilot script and uh, it seems like David Jenkins will be the showrunner, so they'll probably get started on a writer's room soon as well.
yeah. Grim
Now,
asked. Oh,
Lantern
I'm
season
sorry.
2 is probably coming before Booster Gold, but it'll be interesting if they're both the 2028 shows.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a connection there too. I've always sort of
Mhm.
associated Lantern and Blue Beetle and Booster Gold as all sort of the same umbrella of DC in my head, like that
They're all
cosmic.
Green Lanterns.
Yeah,
Booster
it's true.
Gold's Green Lantern.
Grim asks, do you think they could do anything with Hal Jordan post Lantern season one? Obviously, this is coming off that theory that Hal dies in season one. Um, what his future could look like, provided that he doesn't come back in season two. He could be in season two. They could one. He could not die in season one. It's potential. He could resurrect in season one after dying. However, provided that he's not in season two, I do expect them to do prequels with Hal. I do expect them to do maybe not a show or a movie necessarily, but like maybe just showing him in a prime Green Lantern role, in maybe a Justice League, or it wouldn't be Justice League, but like a big event type movie that takes place before Superman with like other heroes. I could see something like that. I've always been a fan of maybe doing a video game for Hal. Green Lantern I think would work well in a video game environment. I don't know what that would look
I
like.
think so.
That's all just sort of theories that I have, but I
You
don't know.
can't really style it like Spider-Man or Arkham because
Well, it would have to be a different type of video game. God forbid.
right.
They'd have
Well,
to do something a little different.
that's what I'm saying because Batman and Spider-Man can't fly. They swing, grapple, and glide.
Glide, yeah.
Whereas John Stewart can just fly.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would do it like a AAA flying superhero game because I don't think that's ever been done. But
Think it would be as hard as they're making it seem, though. I think you'd have a very similar engine to like Spider-Man's like web swinging, but it would just you wouldn't necessarily fall down. You'd be able to like fly up and fly around. Like I don't know. I feel like it would be.
also with Green Lantern, you can create any construct you want, and how do you make those decisions in a video game, right?
I don't know, but it
Because
would be damn interesting to find out, wouldn't it? That would be cool. I don't know.
it's but it's not like up to the audience to figure out what construct to make in that situation. You know, they'll
Yeah.
probably give you options.
I don't know. It was an idea that I had floating in my head for a potential Hal Jordan thing.
It would be
And Mr.
cool.
Nostalgia points out too, he could appear in a potential Green Arrow series, and that could be a prequel. That I could
Sure.
actually see easily being a prequel. Um, I mean, I personally think that it's almost a misstep to not put Green Arrow in one of these Lanterns seasons. To be honest, I don't think he's in Lantern season one. I think it would be a shame to not put him in season two, regardless of whether or not Hal's necessarily in it. But that's my take on that too.
Okay.
Do we have anything else to talk about? I don't know. I feel like we sort of run out of topics.
Almost at 200K on Twitter.
Yes, please follow the Twitter Home of DCU if you have not already. We'll
I have my celebration ready. I don't know if I can show it on camera, but I don't
are
know.
you
Can I
gonna
show alcohol?
Can you show alcohol on Yes, I believe you can show alcohol on YouTube.
Right.
I believe that that's allowed.
This is what I'm. This is my thing of bourbon that I'm
Oh my
getting ready
god.
for. Um, that I got as a present
Yeah. All right,
from
sick.
Cooperstown.
That is
So
that is cool. I can't wait. I mean, you've put in so much good work. A lot of people probably I see it in the Discord. Like they're like, I can't wait for you to hit 200K. I want to be very clear that I do not post on Home of DCU. Obviously this channel is sort of co-ran by me and Cole. But the Twitter's all him. The most I do is sometimes you'll like give me a post and be like, should I post it like this? And I'll be like, yes or no. At the most, I'm like, I consult you sometimes on the things you post,
you're
but
a
I am
co-host on
not
the
a
channel
poster.
though, on the pod.
Yes, I am. But I'm not. I'm celebrating for you. 200K. That
Thank
is
you.
you. That is your achievement, and it's a big one too. That's a lot of people when you think about it. Even if
Especially
half of them are
for
bots.
especially for DC,
Yeah.
because like I think that's
He just got out. That's hilarious. Oh my god. He just got out. I I'm gonna bring it back.
am I back?
You're back.
What just happened?
Uh, I don't. You just got kicked out for some reason. I don't know. The
I
stream
don't
saw
think it
that,
was. I
but
don't
I brought
think
you back.
my Wi-Fi went out or anything like that. That's why I was
That was
confused.
interesting. Were you gonna say that that is like you're one of the biggest DC accounts on Twitter?
No, no, no. I mean, I think it's good for DC as a whole
Oh yeah,
because it means people
interested in
are
the
in
brand.
tune for news and the brand.
Yeah,
Um,
and
so
just
yeah.
overall, like that's just I don't know. Like MCU film news, for instance, is not even as close to followers as like DC film news, and I
Well,
think that that.
MCU film news also started quite recently.
Oh, I did not
I've
know that.
I've been tweeting since it might be 4 years now, 4.5 years,
Well,
something like
you
that.
have really picked up. I remember
I started
150,000.
as home of DC. Actually, no, I started as Aquaman film news, in preparation for Aquaman 2, and the only thing that was really going on there was uh, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's court case,
Yeah,
and
that was
and
fun.
and James Wan being brought in. I think that was my biggest tweet when I was Aquaman film news, that James Wan was brought in as a witness, um
That's
talking about
crazy.
Aquaman 2 behind the scenes, and like how Amber Heard wasn't being cut from the film, or some stuff like that. That was like the biggest news coming out of my account at that time.
And
And
then
then I decided to branch out from DC as a whole. I thought it'd be fun. There weren't actually any accounts that there were barely any accounts, probably because it's the DCEU, that were covering it. So I was like, okay, I'll be home of DCEU.
and luckily
Uh,
James Gunn locked in, and
and then James Gunn got hired, and he referred it to the DCU in a press release, but it wasn't set in stone. But I had a feeling it would be, so I changed my name to Home of DCU, as just a gut feeling, and it turned out to stick. So
I actually
there's some
was
lore
around for
there.
that. I think I was around for that, and I
Yeah, that was 2022.
I joined up in the Discord. I want to say right around. I think I was a permanent fixture once the Flash came out. I could be wrong. I think that's when I stayed around for good. Um, but so I've been a part of this journey for about 3 years then, and I've just this is the most I've seen you just shoot up in popularity this year alone, which is weird because this isn't a big year for DC. I don't really know what that's about, but it just happened, and it was like it's so good to see. I mean, truly.
Mhm.
But then the way that we started this was I went to you and I'm like, we should be making like long form like video content, and we can't really post it on Twitter. And even if we did, Twitter's not very great with like uh, doing videos in general. And I'm like, we should just do YouTube and see where that goes. And then
Yeah.
I was like, let's try to branch out slightly. Let's add in, Marvel's. We're big Star Wars fans, but I am definitely the Marvel fan. And I was like, if we're covering DC and we're covering Star Wars, unfortunately for you, we're also gonna have to cover a little bit of Marvel. And you know, I think for the most part it's been successful so far. But
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what Matt, what you're talking about with Man of Tomorrow news that everyone was hyping up yesterday that isn't Blue Beetle related. Is there anything else that was talked about that wasn't White Rabbit or Blue Beetle? I don't remember anything.
Um, Dan RPK like sort of trolled with that post, saying
Oh
that,
yeah.
oh, I have a much bigger casting news, bigger than Blue Beetle, um, and then just said White Rabbit um,
Right.
was in Man of Tomorrow, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I heard this 2 months ago, and I shrugged this off, but um, yeah,
Do
definitely
you
not
believe
bigger than
RPK?
Blue
Do you
Beetle.
think RPK is just lying about it? I guess he wouldn't. There's really no point in lying about it.
No, no, because I heard this.
All right.
I heard this 2 months ago. Um,
Maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it'll be Man of Tomorrow or Jimmy Olsen. That's all I'll say.
I do think if you don't have a specific Man Tomorrow news that you're referring to, you can if you have like a thing that you saw, you can post in chat and we can talk about it and see if that's a real thing. But I didn't see anything
Yeah,
else. So I'm willing to believe that that is just there's nothing else. And thank you, Mr. Nostalgia. We appreciate it. But yeah, honestly, I think that that's good enough to wrap up stream with. We've talked over all
yeah,
the issues, did a quick brief recap of the history of Home of DCU.
sure.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go live probably tomorrow, continue Spider-Man up. Those have been fun. If nothing else, they've been very fun to do, and I'm excited for Marvel's Wolverine in September. We also are going to probably do a weekend stream. We'll see. I don't know if that's. It all depends on news. I think at this point for the rest of the week. If there's extra stuff, we'll talk about it. If not, then
Well,
we'll.
usually we do Friday or Saturdays.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, did you want to do the Odyssey as a live stream?
We could. So that's actually the
Because
big
we did
question.
do Supergirl as a live stream.
We're seeing the Odyssey tomorrow, both of us, not together, but separately, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Do y'all? We could pull it in the Discord if we want, or pull it on Twitter. Would y'all be interested in an Odyssey-esque live stream where we talk about the movie? It would have to probably be spoiler filled, and it would be on Thursday or
We
we could do Friday.
not Thursday because I don't know when you are going because you haven't said what time you're going at,
It could
but
be
I'm
late.
going at 6.
Okay,
I'm
let's
going
do
at
Friday
6, and
then.
it's a 3 hour film minus previews, so
So maybe
I'll be
maybe
getting back at like 10.
maybe Friday or Saturday we do an Odyssey stream, spoiler review slash discussion. And that's a little bit different than our typical content, but
Reviews
it's
just came out.
still geek culture. Yeah, this is looking like a best picture contender for sure.
Let's not say that.
Contender. Contender. I said the words
You have
contender.
not even seen the film.
It looks like it will be though, based on the reviews.
It's actually interesting that the reviews came out today, on Wednesday. Usually, because that's when Supergirl's reviews came out. Usually they release them on Tuesday, right?
Maybe Nolan just did not give a shit. Did we consider that? I don't know.
No one doesn't give shit. That's our headline.
Nolan doesn't give a shit.
That's our headline for the spoiler review. Nolan
For sure.
doesn't give a shit.
Okay. Well, in any case, these are all things to discuss after the stream. We'll see you guys in the next what is this called? Main in the next main pod episode.
Yep.
All right. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, all that good stuff. I love you all.